Welcome to Filmoro. Today we're diving into the film, The Life List. Sometimes we think that in order to be accepted by society, we have to follow a predetermined path, like getting married, having children, or having a stable job. But life doesn't always go according to our plans, and this is exactly where our story begins. Alex, along with her boyfriend, goes to her mother's party. The house is full of guests, each engaged in conversation and laughter. Among this crowd, Alex and her boyfriend are constantly confronted with repetitive questions and comparative remarks. The party seems cheerful on the surface, but for Alex, it feels like a family trial, a place where everyone is waiting to see why she hasn't followed the conventional life paths, why she isn't married yet, why she doesn't have children, or why her life isn't like everyone else's. After the party, Alex's mother hugs her and says, "Are you really okay? I feel like you're a little lost." Alex replies, "I have a boyfriend, a good job. I actually work at your company." But her mother says, "With everything you have, it's clear that your heart isn't truly happy." Alex responds, "Isn't my entire generation struggling with this? Lowering expectations and giving up on childhood dreams." Right there, Alex's mother delivers some bad news. "My illness has returned, and I don't have much time left to live." They both share immense love for each other and hold each other in grief. A few days later, Alex loses her mother forever. At her mother's funeral, Alex's father, who had divorced her mother years ago, is also present. Despite the very close relationship Alex had with her mother, she never had a good relationship with her father. On the way, they head toward Alex's mother's company to speak with her lawyer about the will. Since Alex had always been her mother's favorite, everyone assumed the company would go to her. But the family lawyer, Brad, unexpectedly announces that the company will go to the family's daughter-in-law, Catherine, while part of the assets will go to her other son. He emphasizes that they do not have the right to sell the house for 12 months, and Alex should no longer work at the company. Instead, Alex's inheritance is scheduled to reach her at a later time. At that moment, Brad hands Alex an envelope and says, "Open this when you're alone." Inside the envelope, there is a list and a DVD. In that video, her mother tells Alex, "I was organizing some old things when I came across the life list you made as a teenager. You've grown up, but it seems you haven't pursued any of the goals you set for yourself. I want you to climb out of this hole you've fallen into. Each time you complete one item on your list, Brad will give you a new DVD. And in the end, if you complete all of them by the end of the year, you'll receive my final letter." That day, Alex talks about the list with her friends. Everyone believes that she has never fought for her dreams. In the same gathering, Catherine reminds her that her mother always said about finding true love. We have to ask ourselves 4 questions. If you can answer all 4, then it's true love. 1. Can you tell him everything in your heart? 2. Is he kind? 3. Does he help you be your best self? 4. Can you imagine him being the father of your children? Alex becomes deep in thought and asks herself the same questions about her boyfriend, Finn. But she isn't at all sure about the answers. Finn works in video games. He's funny and easygoing. After Alex talks to Finn about the list, he tells her, "Do it temporarily, at least for the inheritance. Then, with the money, we can start a video game company together." But Finn seemed to be living in a completely different world. Exactly what Alex needed to realize that she didn't really have feelings for him. So she says goodbye to him. On Alex's life list were tasks like reading Moby Dick, becoming a teacher, getting a tattoo, learning to drive, performing stand-up comedy, and learning to play the song Claire de Lune. To learn this song, she went to their neighbor, who was a piano teacher. The teacher agreed on the condition that Alex would perform the piece in front of everyone at the church in June. That night, a stand-up comedy show was scheduled at a club. Alex had even invited Brad to come along. When it was Alex's turn, one of the audience members, who thought he was very funny, started interrupting and giving suggestions. But Alex, performing on stage for the first time, responded with humor in such a way that the audience burst into laughter, and the boy didn't say another word. After seeing the performance, Brad gave her the second DVD. In it, Elizabeth told Alex, "I'm really glad you faced your fear and performed. For the next week, I want you to do something every day that scares you, because so often, people give up on their dreams because of their fears." Right there, Brad also suggested, "I work for a women's shelter. They need teachers for the high school kids there. Do you want me to introduce you?" Alex was sitting on the subway, on her way to the teaching job interview Brad had suggested, reading Moby Dick. A boy sitting across from her stared at her with interest and surprise. Alex asked, "Doesn't it suit me to read a book like this?" The boy laughed and said, "I could only get through the first chapter myself." Alex replied, "I only read the first chapter in school too, but now that I'm continuing it, I can't get enough of it. After arriving, Alex spoke with the school principal. 10 minutes before class started, the principal gave her a folder containing information about all the students and their characteristics. On the first day of class, Alex told the students, "In the next 30 minutes, write down something in your life that you wanted to achieve but couldn't. Find a way to do it." Everyone started writing, except Ezra, a boy who was only focused on drawing. Alex took Ezra's sketchbook and said, "When you write yours, I'll give your book back." But Ezra angrily snatched his sketchbook from Alex and stormed out of the classroom. The principal told Alex, "All the students here have issues. In that folder I also explained how you should interact with each of them." Then Alex was taken to Dr. Taylor, the school counselor, for guidance. It was at that moment that a spark of joy appeared in Alex's eyes, because Dr. Taylor was the same boy she had talked to on the subway. Gareth explained Ezra's chaotic life situation and said, "Some people are like cats. Instead of approaching them first, let them come to you. If you go to them too quickly, they will pull away." Dr. Taylor wanted to explain about the other students as well, but Alex had a meeting with her father. Making amends with her father was something she had always avoided, so they postponed the rest of the conversation to another day. Alex and her father met at a restaurant. As usual, Alex arrived late. The father-daughter meeting was tense. Alex said, "Now that Mom's gone, I wish you would support me more. I always feel like I've disappointed you in life." Her father replied, "You disappointed me when you gave up the teaching job you loved. I can't just hug you and say everything's fine like your mother would." Hearing her mother's name, Alex became visibly upset and said, "My mom was like an angel. Don't talk about her like that. Has she ever done anything wrong or betrayed you?" At that moment, Alex's father suddenly went silent and left the restaurant. It was as if everything in Alex's world had collapsed. The image she had held for years of her mother as a flawless woman shattered in an instant. It was then that she learned the bitter truth. Her mother had been in a relationship with a musician named Johnny Alvarez before Alex was born, and Alex was actually the result of that relationship. After becoming pregnant, her mother ended everything with Johnny, and to preserve the family, never revealed the secret to the children. Alex, heartbroken, told her brothers, "That must be why Dad never loved me like he loves you. Because I wasn't his real daughter." But her mind was still searching for some support. She went to Brad, both to receive her next video from her mother for finishing Moby Dick, and also in hopes that through Brad's connections, she could find her real father, Johnny Alvarez. Ignoring Dr. Taylor's advice, Alex brought books and a DVD to Ezra to try to reconnect. But Ezra, indifferent, threw everything into the street. This incident left Alex completely shaken. So she went to Dr. Taylor to talk about Ezra, but Taylor was about to head to a luxurious party. He asked Alex to accompany him. At the party, Alex sees Brad and his flawless girlfriend, Nina, a girl who had recently become the head of the creativity department at Manhattan City Hall. After a bit of conversation, Gareth, looking confidently at Bradley, says, "I think I finally found the girl of my dreams." Then she turns to Alex and adds, "You've really captivated me." Moved by the moment, Alex kisses her and admits, "Ever since I saw you on the subway, I wanted to do this." Gradually, their relationship grows more serious, to the point where Alex introduces Gareth to her brothers. One of her brothers smiles and says, "It seems like you've really changed, both because of Gareth being in your life and because you're following that life list." With the arrival of June, it's time for Alex to play the piano in the church. She sits at the instrument and plays her mother's favorite song with all her heart. A moment full of emotion and longing. From then on, she becomes increasingly immersed in completing her list. By that time, most of Alex's list had been checked off, from helping charities to learning to drive, and even being a good teacher. But 2 items remained: reconciling with her father and finding true love. Alex shared everything with Bradley, who enthusiastically and patiently supported her through every step. Yet Alex's mind was occupied with a question. Why was Gareth always lost in her own world? Why did she never come to Alex's home and preferred to be at her own house with her friends? Bradley suggested that instead of judging, Alex should express her desires directly to Gareth and then decide based on her response. Alex did just that, and finally Gareth agreed to become more familiar with Alex's friends and life. Meanwhile, Bradley also revealed that he had found the address of Alex's real father, and Alex was overjoyed. The day Gareth finally came to Alex's house to meet her friends, they all had a great time together. But Gareth didn't get along with any of them. It seemed as if she truly didn't belong. Especially when one of Alex's friends saw the list and said that Alex still hadn't checked off finding true love. That comment upset Gareth deeply. After the party, Alex smiled and said, "It really was a great day." But Gareth snapped back, "Sure, For everyone except me. Am I just a pawn so you can get your inheritance? With that, she left, clearly upset. Gareth didn't respond to any of Alex's messages or calls, cause they were supposed to go together to find Alex's real father. For that reason, Bradley and Nina accompanied her. Along the way, the three of them laughed, chatted, and listened to music. When they arrived at the hotel, Nina gave Bradley and Alex a meaningful, special look. After a short rest, Bradley came to Alex to go meet her father, this time without Nina because she had urgent business in New York. When Alex came face to face with her father John, she was stunned by his warm voice and attractive appearance. Bradley introduced Alex, and that's when John realized his daughter had come to see him. Alex eagerly asked, "Have you ever been curious about me?" John smiled and replied, "Once I came to a concert. I was near your house and saw you come outside and jump into your father's arms. He spun you around in the air, and you were so happy. That's why I didn't come forward." Alex had no memory of such a moment with her father and said, "I don't remember anything like that, maybe because he wasn't my real father, and we were never really close." John calmly responded, "Truth is one thing, and reality is another." He then took Alex's address and scheduled a meeting with her for 10 a.m. the next day. That night, Alex and Bradley talked about everything, had drinks, and danced a lot. When they each went to their rooms, there was a strong connection between them. At the same time, the doors opened, and Bradley came into Alex's room, and they spent the night together. In the morning, Alex went to the hotel cafe and waited for her father. John never showed up. Heartbroken, Alex told Bradley, "A part of me knew he would never come." Bradley kindly said, "Every time I see you, I fall for you. You're full of life. The fact that your father couldn't see how amazing you are, that's on them. They're the losers." However, Alex felt guilty about her relationship with Bradley the night before. Bradley also told her, "Nina and I had a fight last night because of you, and she left me for good." Alex felt a little upset with Bradley for not telling her about this sooner. At that moment, Gareth sent her a message. Bradley also told her, "I'm sure you've never really loved Gareth. Think about it a little more." When Alex got home, she saw Gareth waiting at the door. Gareth spoke softly. "I wasn't upset because of the list. It was because of your broken sofa, your friends, and the book I gave you but you didn't read. I was scared, but I missed you all week, and I realized I couldn't live without you." Alex replied with a smile and calmness, "The thing is, my messy house, my friends, and my books are all part of my identity, and it's getting separated from Gareth." Her brothers had arranged a meeting with Alex at their mother's house. When she arrived, she saw that they had set up a moonlit camp for her, something that had been on her list. They were, in every way, a real family. Alex shared her feelings after seeing John, and they empathized with everything that had happened to her. They spent the whole night drinking and talking about all the secrets of their childhood. Alex also showed them videos of their mother. They cried together watching their mother, and experienced a beautiful sense of being together. The next day, Alex went to see her father and reconciled with him. It seemed she finally realized that the truth was that Samuel had cared for her all these years, even though he wasn't her biological father. This time, Sullivan, Bradley's colleague, came to Alex to deliver a letter and the final video. The letter stated that the house would be inherited by Alex. In the video, Elizabeth told Alex that her whole being was happy to be her mother, and reminded her to fight for the love of her life, and to experience the taste of love. Alex immediately went to Bradley and said, "I want us to be more than friends." When we parted, I needed to think deeply and ask myself those 4 questions about true love. 1. Is he kind? Of course he's as kind as a poppy. 2. Can I tell him everything in my heart? Of course, since the day we met, I've told you everything without holding back. 3. Does he help me become the best version of myself? Of course, I couldn't have gotten through this past year without your support. 4. And the 4th answer is yes. And that's how Alex finally found her true love. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to hit that like button. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe right now so you never miss the next movie recap. I've got 6 playlists from different genres, and I add new movies every single month. You can see them right here on the end screen. Hit subscribe first, then pick a playlist, and keep the adventure going.